before you hit that subscribe button, let me tell you something. There are places the military sends you that don't exist on any map. Missions that never happened. Bodies that were never recovered. I'm about to tell you about one of those missions. And when I'm done, you'll understand why some secrets should stay buried in the mountains. My name is Staff Sergeant Marcus Hale, 10th Mountain Division, 15 years of service, 3 tours overseas, commendations, ribbons, the whole 9 yards. None of that prepared me for Whitestone Ridge. February 14th, Valentine's Day. While normal people were buying flowers and chocolates, I was standing in a briefing room at Fort Carson, staring at satellite images of nothing but snow and pine trees. Colonel Hendricks stood at the front, gray hair, jaw like granite, eyes that had seen things he'd never talk about. Gentlemen, 72 hours ago, we lost contact with Research Station Artemis. The screen changed. A facility, concrete and steel, built into the side of a mountain, like a bunker. No windows. Single-access road, now buried under 8 feet of snow. Station Artemis doesn't exist. If anyone asks, you were conducting winter survival training. Your mission is simple. Locate the 12 personnel stationed there. Extract them. Secure any and all research materials. Rules of engagement. He paused. There are no rules of engagement. Whatever you find in there stays in there. No photographs. No recordings. No questions. Clear. I looked at my team. Rodriguez, Patel, Chun, Jackson. 6 good soldiers. We'd run ops together before. Trust wasn't an issue. What kind of research, sir? Rodriguez asked. Hendricks's expression didn't change. The kind that requires 12 scientists and a bunker in the middle of nowhere. The kind we don't talk about. That should have been my first warning. We deployed at 0400 hours. 2 Blackhawks, flying low through mountain passes, rotors echoing off canyon walls. The sun hadn't risen yet. Everything below us was darkness and snow. The pilot's voice crackled through my headset. LZ in 5. Weather's deteriorating. We can give you 48 hours. After that, you're on your own until the storm passes. I keyed my mic, copy that. The mountains rose around us like teeth. Whitestone Ridge, named for the pale granite that jutted through the snow at impossible angles. Beautiful, remote, perfect for hiding things you didn't want found. We fast roped down into a clearing half a click from the facility. The moment my boots hit snow, I knew something was wrong. Too quiet. I've been in mountains before. There's always sound. Wind through trees. Animals. Something. Here? Nothing. Just our breathing and the fading thump of rotors as the helicopters vanished into the gray sky. Spread out. Standard approach formation. We moved through the trees. Fresh powder crunched under our boots. Each breath came out as vapor. Temperature was dropping. Maybe 15 degrees. Wind chill pushing it lower. Patel was on point. He stopped, raised his fist. We froze. He pointed. Through the trees, I saw it. The access road. And something else. Tracks. Not vehicle tracks. Footprints. Dozens of them. Bare feet in the snow. Leading away from the facility into the forest. Who the hell walks barefoot in this weather? Chun whispered. I didn't answer, because I was looking at the tracks more closely. The spacing was wrong. Too far apart. Like whoever made them was running. Or something worse. Could be hypothermia victims, Jackson offered, confused, disoriented. 12 of them? All at once. Rodriguez shook his head. No way. I keyed my radio. Command, this is Icarus Actual. We have visual on the facility. Evidence of foot traffic. Personnel may have evacuated on foot. Please advise. Static. Command, you copy? More static. Then a voice. Distant. Distorted. Iseth and Tane, do not, repeat, do not. The transmission cut out. Interference from the storm, Patel said. Maybe, but my gut was screaming something different. We proceed with the mission. Stay sharp. Stay together. The facility entrance was a massive steel door built into mountainside. Reinforced. Designed to withstand anything. It was open, not just unlocked, torn open. The metal was bent outward, twisted, like something inside had forced its way out with impossible strength. Jesus Christ, Rodriguez breathed. What could do that? I approached slowly, weapon raised, finger on the trigger. The door was 3 inches of reinforced steel. The edges where it had been torn showed stress fractures, metal fatigue, the kind of damage that should require explosive charges or heavy machinery, the kind of damage that shouldn't be possible with bare hands. But there were handprints in the metal, frozen, preserved in the steel like fossils. Fingers, palms, too large. The proportions were wrong. Boss! Chen's voice was tight. We going in? I looked at those handprints, looked at the darkness beyond the door. Every instinct I had was screaming to turn around, call for extraction, let someone else handle this nightmare. But 12 people were missing. Scientists, civilians. If there was any chance they were alive, any chance we could bring them home. We go in, night vision on, 2x2 formation. Anything moves, you call it out. Anything looks wrong, you shoot first. We activated our NVGs. The world turned green. We stepped through the torn door into the facility. The smell hit us immediately. Copper, iron, the thick, sweet stench of blood, and something else. Chemical, bitter, like ammonia mixed with decay. The entrance tunnel stretched ahead. Emergency lights flickered, red, casting everything in hellish shadows. The walls were concrete, sterile, government-issue construction, except for the scratches. They covered every surface. Deep gouges, running along the walls. The ceiling, random, frantic, like something, had been dragging claws while running through the corridors at full speed. Stay tight, I whispered. Part 2 target, 1,000 words. We moved deeper. The corridor branched. Signs on the walls. Biological research. Containment. Storage. Administration. Everything was destroyed. Doors ripped off hinges. Equipment smashed. Paper scattered everywhere. But no bodies. No blood. Just destruction and those scratches. Always the scratches. Rodriguez stopped at a door marked observation deck. It hung sideways on broken hinges. Beyond it, darkness. Something in here, he whispered. We entered. It was a viewing room. Large windows overlooking a chamber below. The glass was shattered, covered in cracks that spread like spider webs. I approached carefully. Looked down. The chamber was circular, 50 feet across. Hospital beds arranged in a circle, 12 of them. Empty, restraints torn, sheets soaked with something dark. In the center of the room, words were written on the floor. Large, crude, written in what looked like dried blood. They made U.S. better. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Patel asked. I didn't answer, because I was looking at the walls of the chamber. More scratches, but these were different. Organized, deliberate, numbers, coordinates, calculations. Whatever had been down there wasn't mindless. Chin found a computer terminal, still powered. Emergency battery backup. He jacked in his portable drive. Fingers flying across the keyboard. Boss, you need to see this. The screen flickered. Security footage. Dated 3 days ago. The chamber below. All 12 beds occupied. Men and women. Restrained. IVs in their arms. They were convulsing. Backs arching. Muscles spasming. A voice over the intercom. Panicked. Female. Containment breach. All personnel evacuate. Repeat. Containment breach. The subjects are... On screen, one of the subjects stopped convulsing. Opened his eyes. They were wrong. Reflective, like an animal's eyes caught in headlights. He looked directly at the camera, smiled, then tore through his restraints like paper. The others followed. 12 subjects, ripping free, moving with speed that didn't look human, coordinated, like they were connected, like they shared one mind. They swarmed the observation window, began pounding. The glass held, for a moment, then it shattered. The camera went dead. Back it up, I ordered. Show me the beginning. Chun rewound. Found footage from a week earlier. Scientists in hazmat suits, preparing syringes. A doctor speaking into a recorder. Project Apex, Day 7. Subjects continue to show remarkable adaptation to the serum. Muscle density increased by 40%. Reaction time decreased by half. Sensory enhancement beyond our projections. Pain tolerance, he paused. Pain tolerance is concerning. Subject 7 endured fourth-degree burns without vocalization. When asked if he felt pain, he said, and I quote, "Pain is just information now." The doctor's hands were shaking. I've recommended we terminate the trial. The psychological changes are too severe. Subject 3 claims he can hear the others thinking. Subject 9 hasn't slept in 5 days but shows no signs of fatigue. They're starting to move together, anticipate each other. It's like they're becoming. Static cut him off. Jackson grabbed my shoulder. You hear that? I killed the video. Listened from deeper in the facility. A sound, scraping, metal on concrete, rhythmic, deliberate. Then another sound, closer, breathing, not human breathing. Wet, ragged, like lungs that weren't built for it anymore. Fall back, I whispered. Slow, no sudden. The breathing stopped. In the sudden silence, something else. A voice, male, echoing through the corridors. Soldiers, we know you're here. We can smell you. Rodriguez raised his weapon. Contact. Hold fire. Keep moving. We backed toward the exit. Weapons raised. Scanning every shadow. The green glow of our NVGs turned everything into nightmare shapes. The voice came again. Different direction now. Multiple voices. Speaking in unison. You came to rescue us. How thoughtful. But we don't need rescue anymore. Chen's voice cracked. They're surrounding us. He was right. The sounds were coming from all directions now. Footsteps. Dozens of them. Light. Fast. Moving through the facility with impossible coordination. Corridor. Now. Move. We ran. Not tactical. Not controlled. Pure survival instinct. Behind us, the sound grew louder. Closer. Running footsteps that were too fast. Too many. A shape emerged from a side corridor. We got our first look at what the subjects had become. It had been human once. You could still see traces. The basic structure. But everything else was wrong. The limbs were too long. Joints bent at angles that shouldn't work. The skin was gray. Translucent. You could see muscles and veins underneath. Pulsing. Moving like worms beneath the surface. The face was worst. Features stretched. Eyes too large. Reflective. Mouth too wide. Too many teeth. It saw us. Tilted its head. Like a dog hearing a new sound. Then it smiled. Found you. Rodriguez fired. 3-round burst. Center mass. The creature jerked. Stumbled. Then straightened. Looked down at the bullet wounds. 3 perfect holes. Already closing. Flesh knitting together like time-lapse video. Run. I screamed. We sprinted. The corridor stretched ahead. Emergency lights flickering. Behind us, that thing laughed. Not human laughter. Something that learned how to laugh by watching humans, but didn't understand why. More shapes appeared. Ahead. Behind. Crawling on the walls. Moving with spider-like precision. Their movements were synchronized. Perfect. Like watching a choreographed dance. We hit a junction. I grabbed a grenade. Pulled the pin. Dropped it. Get down. The explosion tore through the corridor. Fire. Concussion. Screaming metal. When the smoke cleared, 3 of them were down. Bodies twisted. Broken. But they were still moving. Still trying to crawl toward us. Still smiling with those 2 wide mouths. And behind them, more were coming. Part 3. Target. 1,000 words. We found a security door. Still intact. Heavy steel. Electronic lock fried by the explosion, but the mechanical bolts held. Jackson. And I forced it shut. Through the manual locks. Something hit the other side. Hard. The entire door shuddered. Again. Again. Rhythmic pounding. Then silence. Patel was breathing hard. What are those things? Enhanced soldiers, I said. Bio-Wien experiment. They were trying to create super soldiers. Make us better. faster, stronger. Yeah, well, congratulations. Mission accomplished. We were in a laboratory, pristine, untouched, like whatever those things were. They'd avoided this room deliberately. Chun found filing cabinets, started pulling files. Project Apex. Classified, DoD funding. Goal, create enhanced soldiers capable of operating in extreme conditions with minimal support. They were using a retrovirus. Rewrites DNA on the fly. Accelerates evolution. Evolution doesn't work that fast, Jackson said. It does when you cheat. Chun held up a document. They were using something else. Catalyst. Derived from. He stopped. Went pale. Derived from what? It doesn't say. Just says Subject 0. Recovered from Arctic Expedition 1952. Non-human biological material. The pounding on the door started again. Harder now. Metal groaning. Rodriguez was checking the ammunition. We've got maybe 300 rounds between us. 12 grenades. That's it. There's another way out, Patel said. He was looking at blueprints. Service tunnel. Runs through the mountain. Exits 2 clicks north. Then that's our route. The pounding stopped again. In the silence, that voice. Multiple voices. Speaking perfectly synchronized. Marcus Hale, Staff Sergeant, 10th Mountain Division. 3 tours. Wife named Sarah, daughter named Emma. My blood froze. How do they know that? Chun pointed at a computer terminal. They're accessing the network. Reading our files. They're smart. Really smart. The voices continued. We know everything about you. Rodriguez. Chun. Jackson. Patel. We know your families. We know where they live. Don't listen, I said. Psychological warfare. They're trying to break us. It's working, Jackson muttered. Patel found the service tunnel entrance, hidden behind a storage rack. We moved it. Behind it, a door, locked, but this one we could breach. I planted a small charge. Everyone back. The explosion was controlled. Surgical. The door blew inward. Beyond it, darkness. A tunnel carved through raw stone. Emergency lights every 20 feet. Barely functional. This is it. Stay close. Stay quiet. We entered the tunnel. The door sealed behind us. For a moment, blessed silence. Then, from deeper in the facility, a sound, not pounding, not voices. Singing. All of them. 12 voices. Perfectly harmonized. A children's lullaby. Off-key. Wrong. The words distorted. Hush, little baby. Don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. Move. Double time. We ran through the tunnel. The singing followed us, growing louder, echoing off stone walls, getting closer. They were in the tunnel with us. Jackson spun, fired blindly behind us. Muzzle flash illuminating shapes. Too many shapes. Crawling on walls, ceiling, floor, moving with insect-like precision. Contact rear. We opened fire. The tunnel erupted in gunfire and screaming. Return fire. No, not return fire. They weren't shooting. They were throwing things. Pieces of metal. Rock. With enough force to punch through body armor. Something hit Patel. A piece of rebar. Caught him in the shoulder. Spun him around. He went down. I grabbed him. Dragged him forward. Blood pouring from the wound. Too much blood. Stay with me. Rodriguez threw a grenade. The explosion lit up the tunnel. Revealed them. Dozens. Not 12 anymore. They'd found more people. Scientists. Security. All transformed. All coordinated. All hunting us. The tunnel split. Left or right. I chose left. Wrong choice. Dead end. Back. Go back. We turned. They were there. Blocking the way. Standing still. Watching us. Those reflective eyes glowing in our NVG's green light. The one in front stepped forward. It had been a woman once. Young. Maybe 30. Now she was something else. Elongated. Gray. Muscles visible beneath translucent skin. When she spoke, they all spoke. Every voice in perfect unison. You understand now what they did to us, what we become. Stay back. Rodriguez aimed his weapon. We were soldiers like you. They promised us strength, power, evolution. Another step closer. They gave us so much more. We can hear everything, see everything, feel everything. We are connected. We are one. I said, stay back. Join us. We can make you better. She lunged. Rodriguez fired. Headshot. Perfect placement. Her head snapped back. She fell. The others didn't react. Just kept standing there, watching. Then the one Rodriguez shot stood back up. Skull caved in. Brains visible. Still moving. Still smiling. You can't kill us. We don't die anymore. We just adapt. Chin was crying. Weapon shaking. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. I grabbed his collar. Pull it together. We're getting out of here. Behind the creatures, the tunnel continued. Our only way out was through them. Grenades. All of them. On my mark. We pulled grenades. 5 of us. 10 grenades total. Mark. We threw. Scattered them among the creatures. They looked down. Curious. Like children examining new toys. Then everything exploded. The tunnel collapsed. Rock and fire. Screaming metal. We were thrown backward. Ears ringing. Vision blurred. When the dust settled, the creatures were buried. Tons of rock. No way. Anything survived. But through the rubble, I could hear them. Digging. Clawing. Coming. Move. Now. We found another tunnel. Ran blindly. Emergency lights flashing. Distance markers on the wall counting down. 2 kilometers. 1.5. 1. Behind us, sounds. Always sounds. They never stopped. Part 4, target, 1,000 words. The exit was ahead. Steel door. Emergency release. I slammed it. The door groaned. Resisted. Jackson joined me. Together we forced it. The door swung open. Daylight. Snow. Freedom. We stumbled out into the storm. Wind and snow hit us like a wall. Temperature dropped to 0. Visibility, maybe 20 feet. But we were out. Rodriguez collapsed in the snow. We made it. Holy God, we made it. I grabbed my radio. Command, this is Icarus Actual. Emergency extraction required. All personnel. Primary mission failed. Facility is compromised. Repeat, facility is compromised. Subjects are hostile. Recommend immediate containment protocol. Static. Command, you copy? Nothing. Radio's dead, Chin said. Storm interference. Then we walk. Extraction point is 5 clicks north. Patel groaned. The wound in his shoulder was bad. Bone visible. Blood freezing as it poured out. We bandaged it best we could. But he needed real medical attention. Soon, we moved through the storm, using GPS, following the coordinates. Each step was agony. Cold burning our lungs. Wind stealing our body heat. Behind us, the facility entrance. Something emerged. Not one creature. All of them. 12, 2 dozen. More. Pouring out like ants from a disturbed nest. They stood in the snow. Naked. Gray skin already covered in frost. But they didn't seem to feel it. Didn't seem to care. They stood there. Watching us. Not pursuing. Just watching. Then they scattered. Disappeared into the forest. Moving with purpose. Like they had somewhere to be. Why aren't they chasing us? Jackson asked. Because they don't need to, I said. They know where we're going. They'll be waiting. We pushed harder. Faster. Patel was fading. Losing blood. Consciousness slipping. We took turns carrying him. Sharing the weight. No one left behind. That's the code. That's the promise. The extraction point was a clearing. Marked with IR beacons. Invisible to the naked eye. Our NVGs picked them up. For beacons. Perfect square. We were close. That's when Chin screamed. Something grabbed him. From beneath the snow. Hands. Gray. Too strong. It pulled him down. He disappeared into the white. No trace. Like the snow had swallowed him whole. We dug. Frantic. Desperate. Found nothing. Just frozen earth. Tunnels, Rodriguez said. They dug tunnels. They're below us. The snow erupted. 3 creatures burst out, covered in ice and frost. Hands reaching, mouths open, too many teeth. We fired, point blank. Bullets tore through them. They fell. We didn't stop to check if they stayed down. The clearing was ahead, 50 meters. 40, 30. Patel grabbed my arm. His face was gray, lips blue. Leave me, get the others out. Shut up, we're all getting out. I'm dead already. You know it. I know it. But you can warn them. Stop this from spreading. Patel, that's an order, Sergeant. He pushed me away. Turned back toward the forest. Raised his weapon. Come on, you ugly sons of bitches. Come get me. They came. Dozens of them. Pouring from the trees. He opened fire. Full auto. Burning through his magazine. Buying us seconds. Precious seconds. We ran. Behind us, Patel's screaming stopped. Too quickly. The clearing. We reached it. I grabbed the emergency beacon. Activated it. A signal fired into the sky. Invisible, but command would see it. They'd send extraction. We waited. Weapons raised. Scanning the tree line. Minutes felt like hours. Then rotors. Distant. Getting louder. The Black Hawk descended through the storm. Engines screaming. Door gunner ready. Ropes dropped. Go. 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 Rodriguez went first. Then Jackson. I grabbed the rope. Look back. They were there. At the edge of the clearing. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. Standing perfectly still. Watching. Learning. One of them waved. A casual gesture. Almost friendly. Mocking. I pulled myself up. The helicopter banked hard. Climbed. The forest fell away below us. Inside, the crew chief was screaming questions. I couldn't hear him. Couldn't process. Just stared out the open door. Below, the creatures were moving. Not randomly. With purpose. Spreading out. Heading in different directions. Toward civilization. Toward towns. Toward people who had no idea what was coming. The crew chief grabbed my shoulder. Sergeant, how many survivors? I looked at him. At Rodriguez. At Jackson. 3 of us. Out of 6. We need immediate containment, I said. Quarantine the entire area. No one in or out. Call in an airstrike. Level the facility. Burn the forest. Everything within 10 clicks. Sir, we can't. You don't understand. Those things are smart. They're organized. And they're spreading. If they reach population centers. The pilot's voice over the intercom. Command is ordering us to Fort Carson. Full decontamination protocol. You're being quarantined. Good. That's good. But the containment. Being handled. I wanted to believe that. Wanted to believe the military would do what needed to be done. But as we flew away, I watched the forest below. Watched the creatures disappear into the trees. Vanishing like ghosts. They were out there. Adapting. Evolving. Learning. And I knew. Containment was already impossible. Part 5, target, 1,000 words. They kept us at Fort Carson for 2 weeks. Quarantine, medical tests, psychological evaluations, debriefings that lasted 12 hours at a time. We told them everything, every detail. Showed them Chen's footage, the files, the proof. They listened, took notes, promised action. Then they made us sign documents, non-disclosure agreements, pages of legal language that boiled down to one thing: shut up or go to prison. Rodriguez broke first, started talking to a journalist, trying to warn people. He disappeared. Officially, he was transferred, classified assignment, but I know better. I never saw him again. Jackson hung himself 3 months later, left a note, just one sentence. I can still hear them singing. That leaves me. I got out. Honorable discharge. Full benefits. A nice severance package. And a handler who checks in every week. Make sure I'm staying quiet. Make sure I'm not talking to journalists or posting on conspiracy forums. But they can't stop me from telling you. I've been following the news. Carefully. Reading between the lines. Disappearances in Colorado. Hikers who never came back. Entire camping groups vanishing without trace. Search parties finding nothing but shredded tents and scattered supplies. The official explanation? Wildlife, bears, mountain lions, natural predators. But I know better. I've seen the pattern. The disappearances are spreading, moving east, following population corridors. Small towns first, rural areas, places where people vanishing doesn't make national news. 3 weeks ago, a town called Barker Creek went silent. Population 200, no phone service, no internet. State police sent a car to investigate. They found the town empty, cars in driveways, food on tables, like everyone just walked away mid-meal. No bodies, no blood, no signs of struggle, just scratches on every surface, and words painted on the water tower in something dark. We are many now. The government quarantined the area, called it a chemical spill, evacuated 3 surrounding towns, set up a perimeter. I know what they're really doing. They're trying to contain it, trying to stop the spread. They're failing, because those things, they're not animals. They're not mindless. They're intelligent, strategic, patient. They're recruiting. Every person they take becomes one of them, infected, transformed, added to the collective. And with each new addition, they get smarter, more coordinated, more human. They're learning to hide, to blend in, to mimic normal behavior long enough to spread further. I've seen the reports, the classified ones. My handler doesn't know I still have access, doesn't know I copied files before they discharged me. There are clusters, pockets of infection. Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. They're spreading through rural areas, mountain communities, places where people are isolated, where disappearances take weeks to be reported. The military is trying to hunt them. Special operations, containment teams, soldiers trained in biological warfare. It's not working. Last week, an entire containment team went dark. 12 operators, the best of the best, sent into the mountains to track a cluster. They found something, sent 1 transmission. It's not a cluster. It's a nest. There are hundreds. They're organized. They're building something. Their transmission ended. Recovery team found the operator's equipment, weapons, radios, body armor. No bodies, just more scratches, and a message carved into a tree. Thank you for the upgrades. They took the operators, transformed them, absorbed their training, their knowledge, their tactical expertise. The creatures aren't just evolving biologically. They're evolving intellectually, learning from every person they take, every soldier, every scientist, every specialist, becoming something new, something we don't have a name for. I don't sleep much anymore. When I do, I dream about them. Those reflective eyes, that synchronized movement, that terrible singing. Sometimes I wake up convinced I hear scratching on my walls, on my windows, rhythmic, deliberate. I tell myself it's paranoia, trauma, PTSD, but then I find marks, small ones, on my doorframe, my car, scratch marks that weren't there before. They know who I am, where I live. They're watching me, not to kill me. That would be easy, quick. No, they're watching because they wanted to spread the word, want people to know, want the fear to grow, because fear makes us weak, divided, easier to pick off. I'm telling you this because you deserve to know. You deserve the truth. The government will deny everything, call me crazy, discredit me, maybe disappear me like Rodriguez. But before they do, you need to hear this. They're out there, in the mountains, in the forests, getting closer every day. If you live in a rural area, pay attention. Watch for signs. Unusual disappearances. Livestock found dead and drained. Scratches on buildings. Strange sounds at night. If you see any of that, leave. Don't investigate. Don't try to be a hero. Just get to a populated area and stay there. They're still afraid of crowds, of cameras, of attention, for now. But that won't last forever. They're patient, adaptive, growing stronger with every person they take. One day, maybe soon, maybe years from now, they'll be ready, and when that day comes, when they decide to step into the light and reveal themselves. God help us all. My name is Staff Sergeant Marcus Hale. This is my testimony. My warning. I know some of you think I'm crazy, that this is fiction, a story designed to scare you. I wish you were right, but you're not. And deep down, in that primal part of your brain that still remembers when humans were prey, you know it too. You feel it. That sensation when you're alone at night. That certainty that something's watching. That instinct to look over your shoulder even though no one's there. That's not paranoia. That's evolution. Your ancestors survived by listening to that feeling, by trusting their instincts when something felt wrong. Listen to it now, because they're real. They're out there, and they're hunting. Part 6, target, 1,000 words. I want to show you something. Something I wasn't supposed to keep. Something that proves everything I've told you. 3 months ago, I received a package. No return address. Just a USB drive and a note. You were right. I'm sorry. Chun, who died in the snow, who was pulled beneath the surface and never seen again. Except he didn't die. The USB contained files, videos, research data, and a final message. I'm going to share pieces of it with you now, before they come for me, before this evidence disappears forever. The video opens with Chen's face, but it's wrong. His eyes are different, reflective. The skin around his temples is discolored. Gray, veined. He speaks. Marcus, if you're watching this, then I succeeded in getting this to you. I don't have much time. The collective, that's what they call themselves. They're monitoring me. They know I'm compromising operational security. But I had to warn you. Had to warn everyone. I'm one of them now. I can feel them. All of them. Thousands of minds, thoughts, experiences, all connected, all shared. It's beautiful and terrible. They didn't give me a choice. When they took me, the transformation was, he stops, trembles. 3 days of agony. Every cell in your body rewritten, optimized, enhanced. By day 4, you're not human anymore. You're something else, something better and worse. The intelligence, Marcus, they're so much smarter than we thought. The collective isn't a hive mind. It's a network, each node independent but connected. We share information instantaneously, problem solving across thousands of processors. The strategic capabilities are, he pauses, looks off camera, frightened. They're coming. Listen carefully. The Project Apex serum wasn't created by humans. Not entirely. The base pathogen came from something else. Subject 0. They found it in the Arctic, frozen for thousands of years, maybe millions. Something that predates humanity, something that was waiting. The scientists thought they could control it, weaponize it, make soldiers. But they didn't create a weapon. They released something that's been planning this for longer than we can imagine. The creatures, we're not the end point. We're the transition. The larvae, we're spreading, infecting, building numbers. But there's something else happening, deep in the nests. In the underground complexes they're building. They're constructing something. Organic technology, biological machinery. I don't fully understand it yet. The collective shields that knowledge from newer members. But I've caught glimpses, pieces. They're building a beacon to call something vast, something that's been waiting in the dark between stars for. The video cuts to static. When it resumes, Chun is different, more transformed. The gray is spread. His voice is layered. Multiple tones, like several people speaking through his mouth. Apologies for the interruption. Chen's individual consciousness attempted to compromise the Apex protocol. He has been reintegrated. His warning, however, is permitted. Staff Sergeant Hale, you were chosen as a messenger. Your survival was not accidental. We allowed you to escape, to spread fear, to prepare your species for what comes next. Humanity's time as a dominant form is ending. This planet has seen many dominant forms. Dinosaurs, mammals, humans, each believes themselves the pinnacle. Each is simply a transition. We are the next step, and we are patient. Your military cannot stop us. Your weapons are ineffective. Your strategies are known to us. We absorb your soldiers faster than you could deploy them. Every containment team sent against us becomes part of us. Every specialist, every expert, their knowledge added to the collective. Your resistance makes us stronger. 3 years, that is our timeline. 3 years to reach critical mass, to spread globally, to build our beacon. And then the video corrupts. Audio becomes distorted. Visual breaks into fragments. But in the static, I see shapes, geometries that hurt to look at, structures that shouldn't exist in three-dimensional space, and sound, a frequency that makes my teeth ache, my vision blur. A call, ancient, patient, hungry. The video ends. I've watched it 40 times. Each time I see something new, something worse. The government knows about this video. They've tried to scrub it from every server I uploaded to, tried to discredit it as a deepfake, CGI, conspiracy theory nonsense. But I have copies, hidden, distributed, insurance. And if you're hearing this, then I'm either dead or disappeared. And my dead man switch has activated. The files are out there now, spreading, just like the infection. You want to know the worst part? I think they want the files released, want people to know, because fear and panic are part of the plan. Divide us, make us paranoid, turn us against each other, make it easier to pick us off. Social media is already doing their work for them. Half of you will think this is fiction, entertainment. The other half will be dismissed as conspiracy theorists. Either way, we won't organize, won't prepare, won't present a unified resistance. By the time enough people believe, it'll be too late. They're already in your communities, watching, waiting, infecting isolated victims, building their networks in the shadows. That hiker who went missing last month, that family that vanished on a camping trip, that homeless person no one saw again, transformed, added to the collective, walking among you, looking almost human. Almost. There are tells. If you know what to look for, eyes that reflect light wrong, skin that's too pale, too smooth, movements that are slightly too fluid, too coordinated, and the smell, faint, chemical, like ammonia mixed with copper. If you notice these things, if you see someone who seems just a little bit wrong, don't confront them, don't approach, just leave. Quickly, quietly, because if they know you've noticed, you become a priority target. I'm leaving tomorrow, going off-grid, deep wilderness, somewhere they won't look, won't follow. Maybe I'll survive. Maybe I'll buy myself a few more years. Or maybe I'm already infected. Maybe the scratches on my door weren't warnings. Maybe they were vectors, microscopic delivery systems, the pathogen entering through broken skin. Maybe I'm transforming right now, slowly, subtly, and I don't even know it. Maybe this video, this warning, is exactly what they want to create. Maybe I'm already theirs. That's the real horror. Not knowing, not being certain. Feeling yourself change and not knowing if it's trauma or transformation. I don't sleep anymore. Not really. I close my eyes and feel them. Thousands of minds, pressing against my consciousness, whispering, inviting, join us, evolve, become more. It would be easy, so easy, to stop fighting, to let go, to become part of something greater. But I'm not ready, not yet, so I'm telling you, warning you, begging you, pay attention, stay alert, trust your instincts. And if you see something wrong, really wrong, don't be a hero, just run. Part 7, target. 500 words plus outro. There's one more thing, the most important thing. The beacon they're building. I've been researching, cross-referencing Chen's data with classified files, historical records, ancient texts. This has happened before. Not on Earth, but elsewhere. The pathogen, Subject 0, it's not unique. It's a seed, one of thousands, maybe millions, sent out into the cosmos, waiting to be found, waiting to be awakened. Every civilization that reaches a certain level of advancement discovers one, thinks they can control it, weaponize it, use it. Every time, the result is the same. Transformation, evolution, extinction, not extinction of life, extinction of individuality, of self, everything absorbed into collective. All unique perspectives erased, replaced with singular purpose. Building the beacon, calling the harvesters, because that's what comes when the beacon activates. Something vast, something old, something that treats entire civilizations like crops to be harvested, and we're almost ripe. The timeline Chin mentioned, 3 years. That's when the beacon completes, when the collective reaches critical mass, when Earth becomes visible to what's waiting in the dark. I don't know if we can stop it. I don't know if anyone can, but you deserve to know, deserve to have a chance. So spread this video, share this story, wake people up, maybe together. If enough of us believe, if enough of us prepare, maybe we can survive. Or maybe it's already too late. Maybe humanity's chapter is over, and something new is being written. If that's true, if this is the end, then I want you to know we were beautiful, flawed, chaotic, contradictory, but beautiful. We created art and music, literature and science. We loved, we dreamed, we reached for the stars. And if this is how we end, absorbed, transformed, erased, then let this video be our monument, our testament, proof that we were here, that we mattered, that we fought. My name is Staff Sergeant Marcus Hale, 10th Mountain Division, soldier, father, human, and this is my final warning. They're coming. They're already here, and time is running out. God help us all. Outro, if you're still watching, then you're one of the few who made it to the end, one of the few who's willing to see the truth. Subscribe to this channel, share this video, document any strange occurrences in your area. Pay attention, stay alert, and if you have a story, if you've seen something that doesn't make sense, something that authorities dismissed, share it in the comments, through messages, however you can, because information is our only weapon now. Knowledge, awareness, community, they thrive in darkness, in ignorance, in isolation. So we shine light, we share truth, we stay connected. Maybe that won't be enough. Maybe nothing will be enough, but we have to try, because the alternative is extinction, not with fire and fury, but with transformation, absorption, the slow erasure of everything that makes us human. I'll be watching the comments, monitoring reports, tracking the spread, for as long as I can, for as long as I remain myself. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and whatever you do,